Johnny Depp, the enigmatic Hollywood icon known for his chameleonic performances and deeply introspective nature, has often used silence as a means of self-protection in the face of public chaos. But in an emotional and deeply revealing moment, he has now confessed that the trauma inflicted by his ex-wife Amber Heard is something he will never forget, a scar that remains etched in the recesses of his memory. The confession, sparked by an unexpected emotional trigger during a recent visit to Spain, has sent shockwaves through fans and media alike. For years, Depp has tried to move forward, rebuilding his career, re-establishing his image, and rediscovering a sense of inner peace. Yet the ghosts of the past have proven to be inescapable, haunting him in the most unexpected moments. When Depp arrived in Spain, it was supposed to be a time of renewal, a chance to escape the noise of Hollywood, find artistic inspiration, and immerse himself in a culture he has long adored. But fate had a different plan. Depp was in Spain for a film festival and a series of meetings tied to his recent cinematic comeback. Spain, with its romantic architecture, Mediterranean charm, and tranquil rhythm, had always been a place where he felt grounded. It offered him anonymity, admiration without intrusion, and a sense of community far removed from the cutthroat world of American celebrity. However, that sense of calm was disturbed when news broke that Amber Heard was also in the country, staying not far from where Depp was residing. What was initially a peaceful retreat transformed into an emotionally charged confrontation with memories he had spent years trying to suppress. Though there was no direct encounter between the two, the mere knowledge of her presence reignited a storm within him. As Depp later explained to a close confidant, it was like reopening a wound that had never properly healed. The actor, who had managed to maintain a measured distance from his past turmoil, found himself involuntarily revisiting moments from their turbulent relationship. From the volatile arguments to the painful legal battles that unfolded in front of the world, every painful detail came flooding back. During a private gathering with friends in Madrid, Depp finally let down his guard and spoke candidly about the weight of the trauma he carries. He admitted that even in his most peaceful moments, Amber's presence lingers like a shadow, never fully disappearing, always waiting to creep in during quiet reflection. He described the trauma as something invisible, yet profoundly paralyzing, a psychological imprint that cannot simply be erased with time or distance. Johnny's confession has reignited interest in the long and bruising saga between the two actors. Their marriage, once seen as a glamorous union between two talented stars, quickly devolved into one of the most publicized and divisive breakups in recent memory. The court cases, first in the UK and later in the US, placed both parties under a global microscope. Allegations of abuse, recordings of heated arguments, and intimate revelations transformed the legal battle into a spectacle, forcing the world to choose sides. Though Depp ultimately won his defamation case in Virginia, the emotional cost was incalculable. He may have been vindicated in court, but the scars remain, a truth he is no longer hiding from. Depp has always been a man of contradictions, rebellious yet tender, reserved yet expressive. Over the years, his roles have often mirrored his inner world, deeply wounded, misunderstood characters searching for meaning. His portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow was whimsical but layered with melancholy. Edward Scissorhands was gentle but isolated. Even his turn as the Mad Hatter carried a tinge of sorrow beneath the eccentricity. Perhaps it is no coincidence that Depp gravitated toward such characters. They allowed him to channel his own pain into something transformative. Yet, even the most cathartic performances cannot erase the psychological weight of trauma. As he reflected during his time in Spain, acting had become both a sanctuary and a burden. It allowed him to escape, but also forced him to confront emotions he would rather leave buried. According to those close to him, Depp's reaction to Heard's proximity in Spain was not just about the fear of an encounter, it was about being emotionally ambushed. He had spent the past year crafting a fragile sense of equilibrium, finding joy in art, music, and genuine human connection. The sudden realization that Heard was within the same city shattered that illusion of safety. Friends noticed a visible change in his demeanor. He became quieter, more introspective, and at times visibly anxious. In one quiet moment on a rooftop terrace overlooking the Madrid skyline, Depp admitted to a friend that he felt like a prisoner of his own memories. "No matter how far I run, she's still there," he reportedly said. "Not physically, but in my head." in my dreams, in the silences. Depp's candid confession has opened the door to a broader conversation about the long-term effects of emotional abuse and public humiliation. While much of the media coverage has focused on the legal, drama and celebrity intrigue, less attention has been paid to the profound emotional toll such experiences take. Depp's vulnerability in speaking out is not just a personal catharsis. It's a powerful statement about the invisible wounds that survivors carry. For many, trauma does not end when the court gavel falls or when the headlines fade. It lingers, in the form of anxiety, trust issues, and the relentless replaying of painful memories. Depp's acknowledgement of this reality has resonated with countless fans who have faced their own versions of emotional warfare. Throughout his time in Spain, Depp found some solace in creative expression. He spent hours painting, strumming his guitar, and writing in his journal. Art has always been his refuge, a place where he can process feelings too complex for words. In one of his paintings, reportedly done during a particularly emotional night, Depp depicted a solitary figure surrounded by shadows with only a faint light in the distance. Friends believe the piece symbolizes his current state, a man still navigating darkness but slowly finding his way toward peace. It is in these quiet acts of creation that Depp seems to find healing, even if just momentarily. But as he himself admits, true healing is a journey, not a destination. Despite the emotional turbulence, Depp remained committed to his professional obligations while in Spain. He attended events with grace, posed for photos with fans, and spoke to the press with his trademark humility. But beneath the calm exterior was a man grappling with the resurgence of deeply buried pain. Those who interacted with him noted his sincerity and warmth, but also detected a lingering sadness in his eyes. One journalist described Depp as present, yet elsewhere, as if part of him was physically in the room while another part was lost in memories. It's this duality that defines Depp, a man constantly balancing performance with authenticity, fame with solitude, pain with resilience. In recent years, Johnny has focused on surrounding himself with people who genuinely care for him, distancing himself from toxic relationships and reclaiming his autonomy. He has also become more open about mental health, frequently emphasizing the importance of emotional well-being. His confession in Spain was not a cry for sympathy, but rather a testament to his ongoing struggle and his determination to live truthfully. He understands now that trauma does not simply vanish with time. It must be acknowledged, examined, and eventually integrated. By admitting that he will never forget the pain caused by Amber Heard, Depp is not giving her power. He is reclaiming his own narrative. While many expected him to bury the past and focus solely on his resurgence in Hollywood, Depp is choosing a different path. He is not erasing what happened. He is learning to live with it. His time in Spain has been a turning point, not because it brought him face-to-face with Heard, but because it forced him to confront the emotional residue that still lingers. It reminded him that healing is not linear, that even in moments of calm, old wounds can ache. Yet, in facing those ghosts head-on, Depp has taken a crucial step forward. He has transformed pain into perspective and trauma into truth. Johnny Depp's confession stands as one of the most honest revelations in a career defined by illusion and performance. In speaking openly about his lingering trauma, he is giving a voice to the often silent suffering of countless others. His words are not just a reflection of personal sorrow, but a beacon for anyone navigating the long road to recovery. Spain, a country he once visited for solace, became the backdrop for an emotional reckoning. It reminded him, and the world, that even the most celebrated stars are not immune to pain. But it also showed that there is strength in vulnerability and power in truth. As Depp prepares for his next role and looks toward the future, he does so with a deeper understanding of himself. He knows now that trauma leaves a permanent mark, but it does not have to define him. It can be a source of wisdom, of empathy, of renewed strength. And while the shadow of Amber Heard may never fully disappear, Depp is learning to live in the light again, slowly, deliberately, and authentically. For Johnny Depp, the journey continues, not as a quest to forget, but as a courageous decision to remember and still move forward.